This video will demonstrate how to download the TIFF files that have been uploaded to Arctos, turn them into JPEGs, and reload them to the catalog record, and then disassociate the TIFF files from the catalog record. So all of the TIFF images, so the high resolution images, are associated with this project in Arctos, which you can look up by searching UWBM MAM and projects or using this URL or the link that's in the GitHub issue where the TIFF project is discussed. Once you're here in this description, there's TIFF files associated with the collection. If you click on that, this gives you a list of the files, and looking at it this way allows you to see all the information associated with the TIFFs. So the TIFFs that have been converted have a comment associated with them. This way, you know you don't need to do them again. So I'm not going to spend time looking for one of the comments. You'll see how we add those when we're doing this process. So this very first one here does not have a comment. You can see the media details all right here, and there is no comment. So we're going to go ahead and do this file first. And what we want to do is download the media, and the way you do that is by clicking on the image that you see there. Now, depending on how your machine is set up, this file will just directly download to your downloads folder, or it's going to ask you where you want to put it. Either way, you want to get it saved to your machine so that you have access to it. And this can take a little bit of time. Some of these files are pretty big, so it might take up to a minute. I think most of them download within 30 seconds or so. So you can see the progress of the download up in your browser. Once it's downloaded, you want to open that image, and then we want to save it as a JPEG. So if you're in Windows, you will just do File Save As. I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to do File Export, and I want to save it as a JPEG. But then we need to downsize it because the JPEGs that get loaded into Arctos in the way that we're doing this have to be less than a megabyte. So we're going to just take down the quality until we get to 1 MB. There we go. And then save this file. And then we can close this and go back to our media page. So this is the one we were working on. This very first one is the one we downloaded. So the first thing that we're going to do is go to the catalog record. If you just click this, it'll override this page, and you don't want to do that. So we're going to open it in a new tab. And if we go back here, we can see that this is the ventral study skin image that we're looking at. So when you come here, you can see there's dorsal and ventral. So this is the one that we're working on. I'm also going to, right from this page, just go ahead and edit media. This way we kind of have the details of it, which we're going to need when we load the JPEG to the catalog record. So if we go back to the catalog record here, we're going to want to pick the media button here so that we can upload the JPEG that we just made. So here it is, the most recent one. We're going to upload it, and Arctos fills in a bunch of things for you, which is nice, but we need to change this to shows cataloged item. Our license needs to be CC by NCSA. Our terms need to be Arctos data ownership and use. And then we're going to add a description. And the easiest way to do this is to go over to the TIFF file and take its description, copy it, paste it here. Now, for these JPEGs, because they're going to be related to the catalog record, you don't really need to have the catalog number in there. So I would take it out if it's on the TIFF. Some of the TIFFs don't have it, it just has the description. So either way, all you want is for it to tell you what is in the image because the relationship with that catalog record is going to be in there. Put today's date for the made date and create media. Okay. The only other thing that I would do for these once they're created, which here's the, let's see, let's find it. The newest one we've created is down at the bottom and it's very sparse on details because Arctos hasn't caught up yet with what we're doing. So we can hit edit media and if the TIFF, let's go back and look at the TIFF. This is the TIFF here. If the TIFF has a preview URI, you can copy that over into the JPEG, and that way you'll already have a preview. If it doesn't, like this one doesn't, um, we go back to the JPEG file, we can get one calculated. So say yes, please, and then save edits. I don't know how long this will take. It depends on what else is happening, but at some point, a thumbnail should get generated so that when you look at this in the catalog record, you will see a small image instead of the Arctos bear, which is what you're going to see now. Okay, the one last thing we need to do to this JPEG, and you know you're on the JPEG because it's the .jpg in the URI, is we want to show that it was derived from the TIFF. So we're going to select a relationship that's derived from media, and then we want to get the TIFF's ID number, which is if you go to editing the TIFF like we were before, after the equal sign, there's a number. This is the media ID. So we're going to copy it and we're going to go back over to the JPEG. And well, actually, we're going to go back to the pop-up that we made and we're going to paste this in there and do search. And then what Arctos will say is, oh, I see that media. So this JPEG was derived from that TIFF. And we're going to save edits. Once again, if we go look at the detail page, nothing's showing up yet. It takes a while for Arctos to catch up and place all these details on the page. But eventually here you will see the relationship and all the other information that you added. If we go back to the catalog record and let's close this add media thing and refresh it, now you can see that the JPEG it's starting to show up. It's not quite there yet, but it will be. So now what we want to do is remove the relationship on the TIFF to this catalog record so that the TIFF doesn't show up here anymore. We'll just have the JPEG. So if we go back to our TIFF media page, what we want to do are two things. First, make sure the description, well, it's actually three things. Make sure the description has the catalog number at the beginning of it. And then we're going to add a comment. And the comment that we're going to add is in the GitHub issue. We want to add the comment JPEG created and associated with catalog record because we've done that now. So we'll go back to media. We're going to put that right there. Let's save that. And then while you're here, let's go ahead and check that the license is correct. It should also be the CC by NCSA, and the term should be Arctos data ownership and use. And then the very last thing we want to do is remove this shows cataloged item because we don't want the TIFF file showing up on the catalog record anymore. So we're going to hit Save Edits. And now you can see that relationship is gone. It's still associated with the project. It has this comment. So now when you go and look at the project, um, like we did earlier, you'll see that this comment means this one's been completed. Once again, if we go to the detail page, you're still kind of not going to see the changes we've made. It takes a while for these to update. So let's go back to the project, which you can do by just clicking that guy. And then you'll see in these files associated with the collection, once this thing gets updated, you're going to have a comment here that tells you the JPEG's been created and we don't need to do anything with this. So that'll help you figure out what's the next one I want to work on. You can just kind of look through, and any one of these that doesn't have the comment, you can work on. Of course, as you're working on this, if you're sitting down for a session for like an hour, you're not going to see that right away, but you can tell the ones that you've recently done because the links are highlighted so that, as I was working on this, this is the next one I would want to do, and so on and so on. So hopefully, if you make use of the instructions here in the GitHub issue, then you should be able to complete this task. If you have questions, you can always post them here in the GitHub issue, and we'll get them answered as soon as we can.